guys, my name's Marissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a get it all done. We're going to be stripping and recovering the beds with new sheets. We're going to be doing meal prep, cook with me, cleaning motivation. We're just going to be getting all of the things checked off of our to-do list. I'm going to start by putting these mattress protectors on the bed. I saw Bits of Brie had an idea of putting a mattress protector, a sheet, another mattress protector, and another sheet in case your child had an accident in the middle of the night, so that's what I'm doing. We also don't have a ton of storage in our house, so I'm going to utilize this as a way to store an extra pair of sheets without them having to be in a separate storage area of the house. Next, I'm going to move on to figuring out the items that I need to prep and freeze before they go bad. I'm also going to be making my dinner meal plan for the week. While I'm already taking inventory of items that needed to be frozen, I just went through and figured out what items I had left that I could make my family for the week. Here's my list. If you'd like to pause the video, you can screenshot my weekly meal plan. Next, I'm going to move on to just prepping ingredients. I had a bunch of celery that was about to go bad, so I decided to just chop all of it up and put it into a freezer bag. I started out I was going to freeze it in this plastic container, but then I quickly realized that not all of my produce was going to fit, so I switched it to a freezer bag. I decided that at the same time I would just chop up some carrots as well as some onion so that I could freeze them all together and use them as a starter for a soup in the future. For the month of April, we did an entire month grocery shop during one trip. This is towards the end of April that I'm filming this, and we do not have a lot of items left in our house. You will see later in the video that I am going to make some homemade granola bars out of items that we have left, but this was the end of all of our fresh produce that we had. So I am undecided at this point if I'm going to continue with monthly grocery shops or if I'm going to transition to a service that delivers your groceries to you. Typically, I don't like doing that because it's more expensive, but at this point, our expenses in other areas are so low that it might be worthwhile to not have to deal with going to the grocery store and just having them delivered. I am moving on to chopping up some cabbage. I'm going to be making either some coleslaw with this, or I'm going to make like a stir fry with cabbage and soy sauce and sesame oil. I've yet to use that cabbage, and it looks like it's way too much for just one meal, so I'll probably end up incorporating it into a couple of different meals before I go back to the grocery store. I'm going to finish up this area of the kitchen by just wiping down the mess that I just made and then spraying down my counters before I move on to making our homemade granola bars. My dishwasher at this point seems like it's always either full or running. It is amazing how many more dishes we are going through now that we are home and exclusively eating all of our meals from home. I'm curious how other people are dealing with this. Are you making your kids reuse the same dishes? Are you running your dishwasher constantly? Are you washing things by hand? What are you doing to tackle all of the dishes that we now have and prevent them from stacking up in your sink? That is probably my biggest kitchen pet peeve, is when dirty dishes are in my sink. So I'm trying to stay on top of it, but it's challenging when it seems like the dishwasher is literally always full or running. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing. The next item on my to-do list was to make some homemade granola bars. Originally, this recipe came from How Jen Does It here on YouTube, but I am modifying her recipe pretty substantially, so it's loosely based off of a recipe that I found here on YouTube. I am pulling out coconut oil. Normally granola bars are made with butter, but I have a family member with a dairy allergy, so I try to substitute coconut oil whenever possible. Honey. I have some instant oatmeal cups that I was sending with my teenage son when he was still going to school. He had a workout class before school every day and would take those instant oatmeals to cook in the microwave. I don't have a microwave at my house, so they were just sitting in my pantry, and I decided that since he's not going back to school this year, that rather than letting them sit there for 6 months, I would repurpose them into a completely different dish. I'm starting by turning on a saucepan on medium-low heat and adding 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil, 1/3 of a cup of honey, 1/3 of a cup of peanut butter. I'm just going to slowly heat this up on the stovetop and make sure that everything is melted and mixed together before I move on to adding the rest of my ingredients. Once this mixture has melted, you're going to add in your oatmeal and Rice Krispies cereal. I am using 4 of the instant oatmeal cups. I had a combination of different flavors. I had this maple brown sugar. I believe I had 2 of those. And then I had a couple of these Kodiak cake flavors. There was a peanut butter chocolate chip and then just a chocolate flavor. So I just dumped all 4 of those into my mixture with 2 cups of Rice Krispies cereal. I'm just going to mix all of this until it's well coated and transfer it into a 9x13 baking sheet. The most important part of this process is to make sure that you get everything pushed really well into the bottom of your pan. You want to make sure that there is not any lumps and that it is really well smashed into the bottom of the pan. I always start by using the back of my silicone mixing spoon, and then I use, this is actually the top to my food scale. Anything will do at this point. You just want to make sure, like I said, whatever you're using, just make sure that you push really hard or your granola bars will not set up. You're then going to cover them and stick them in the refrigerator for a minimum of 4 hours. After I slice these, I still leave them in the refrigerator. I find that if they come to room temperature, especially when you're using coconut oil, they have a tendency of getting too soft and not staying together very well. So I just always keep them in the refrigerator and haven't had any problems with them falling apart. Next, I'm going to just clean out this drawer. When I was unloading the dishwasher, I realized that this had gotten really chaotic and was difficult for me to open and close this bottom drawer. I didn't even bother on this day to make sure that I had the appropriate lids to go with the bowls. I just wanted it to be more accessible for me to get in and out of this drawer easily. Here are what your granola bars will look like after they have set up. I hope that this video provided some motivation for you to tackle your to-do list and to feel like you can get it all done. I hope that all of you are staying happy and healthy. If you would like to watch an additional video that I have made, you can go ahead and click on the video on the left side of your screen. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, you can do that by clicking on my face on the right side. Bye!